What is sales strategy? Now, it might be a question you're asking yourself, or maybe your leadership team have asked you specifically, what is the sales strategy? How are we going to address some of these blockers in our go-to-market team? How are we going to increase revenue? How are we going to retain more revenue? How are we going to get more customers? And you're like, well, I'm doing the sales strategy. And they're like, fix it. And you're like, well, I'm trying to figure out like what makes up the sales strategy. So you may have just been doing the thing, or maybe, hey, it's the first time that you're building a sales strategy and you're going online and you're Googling stuff, and then you find out there's just so many different interpretations of what it is that it actually just becomes a bit complicated or maybe just overwhelming. So I want to take all of that away from you, and I want to give you an easy lens that you can look through in order to better understand what a sales strategy is. So today we're going to do something pretty fun, and we're going to talk about sales strategy. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to cover two specific things. What is sales strategy? And how do we actually apply it in practice? So just for context, I understand a lot of organizations start to think through sales strategy, and they're like, they all have different interpretations. Have you ever been in a meeting and you're talking about the sales strategy and the way in which people are talking about it or responding? You're like, that's not really my responsibility as a sales leader. I don't know where this is coming into to be my responsibility. So I want to kind of demystify all those pieces so that you can confidently go back into some of these discussions with a new lens and a new perspective on, okay, no, this is really what we're doing and this is what I need. All right, so let's dive straight back into it. Let's put it on the big screen. So first thing, what is sales strategy? So let's just dive into that definition. I'm very big on definitions and grounding and making sure we're all on the same page. So firstly, the sales strategy is a comprehensive plan that outlines how a company will position and sell its solutions to its target market in a way that increases their chances of meeting financial objectives. Now, I get it. We all want to think, we're all like just really great Samaritans and we're just here to change the world. That's true. That's the long game, but we need to pay the bills. So our sales strategy is a plan that tells the powers that be, this is how we're going to differentiate ourselves to increase our chances of being successful. And success is defined by numbers. That's sales through and through. Okay. So now that we have that sorted, let's dive into exactly how we start to apply this in practice, because this is the thing. This is like the crux of everything. How we bring it from just an idea and something that we kind of just do sporadically to something that's very semi-linear. It's process oriented, and we have a repeatable framework. Whether we're changing company, we're in a new role, we're moving up divisions, we just know that this is how you build sales strategy. All right, so let's get into it. So how do we apply it in practice? Well, let's just give a high level summary. So the bird's eye view is your company has goals and objectives. This may come from some kind of powers that be, or maybe they're a small organization and they have a North Star that they're focused towards, whether they're bootstrapping or they have investment. There's a goal and there's an objective that you're trying to move towards. The next thing is you as a sales leader are developing a high level plan to get there. Now, this involves a lot of hypotheses development. So you're going to be saying, I had X, Y, and Z, then I could drive this outcome. And that high level plan is the thing that gets submitted into finance so that it can be put into the budget. And the budget is going to consider all of the different moving parts of the organization. At your level, you just want to know that, hey, this is what I do to break even. This is what I can achieve to hit target. This is what I can achieve to hit the stretch target. And this is what I need in order to make all of those things happen. So once that budget gets walked through and everyone comes to an agreement, they say, you know what, based on your hypotheses and your kind of high level plan, this is the budget. And then this is where we get into the actual strategy, because the high level plan is like, I mean, it's kind of a strategy, but it's more a lot of ideation, because there's a lot of we don't know if we can do this, and you don't go into the granular details, but you do go into some ideas around what's the things that are going to be required for headcount and all these other pieces. All right, I digress. So let's break down exactly what some of those particular pieces look like for sales strategy. So let's keep it simple, because this is the framework that you can literally screenshot, copy and paste and use repeatedly. Your sales strategy, the actual plan, as you can see, it kind of starts to deviate and break down a little bit. It's like the actual plan, right? So what I mean by this is some things happen that we are way out of our control. So your sales strategy is made up of people, process, and tools. Now, people is related to not only the team and the headcount that you need in order to meet the objective, but also your partners. Okay, so just people and that resource in general is what is required in order to help execute the plan. Okay, the next thing is the processes. So, I'm big on processes. So, this is talking about sales process. This is all of the other processes that are surrounding sales that help make that possible in helping you to reach the desired outcome, which, of course, is more revenue, more customers, right? So, we need to have particular processes in place because we need standard operating procedures inside our organization, our sales org that we give to the people to execute on. The next part is tooling. This is really going to be dependent on the budget. And if you've submitted a really good hypotheses strategy, then guess what? You're going to have enough funds ideally available to get the tools. So the tools are going to be the things that make you go faster inside your sales strategy. So that's going to be the different tools that are used for like prospecting, for researching, for outreach to different prospects, to manage the deal process, all of those pieces, contracts, proposals, all of the things that happen inside a sales engagement. So what's the missing piece, Hannah? What's the question mark? Well, go-to-market strategy, sales strategy of the future involves experimentation. You need to build experimentation into your sales strategy because things change too frequently now, right? There's lots of hacks and stuff that you're trying to hack out and get things right. So you need to build a culture of experimentation into your sales strategy, which means a part of our comprehensive plan is having this slightly unknown piece that allows us to continuously experiment and turn the knob here. I'm turning a knob, right? So continuously experiment and turn a knob that allows us to feel the people, process, and tools. So we want to make sure that we've got this thing, resources and stuff that allows us to experiment. It might be a platform. It might be a tiger team. It might be something that sits adjacent to this, where you have, it may just be a process where every week somebody is responsible for checking the data, iterating and building it back in. I say to create this as a proper entity because it means that it's delegated and it's owned. Someone is accountable for that, or something is accountable for that. Otherwise, it just falls and people kind of work at their own discretion. So we want to have a collective view as to what's moving around. So as part of your sales strategy, you need to make sure that you're baking in experimentation. All right. So the next part of your sales strategy is actually turning it on. So it's great to have this down, but you cannot do this in isolation in your business. Like there's other things, people, processes, stuff that are required in order to make this a reality. So I always think about, how do we turn that sales strategy on? Well, it's not easy, but it is simple. Does that make sense? No, it's simple, but it's hard. All right. We need to think about how we activate the plan. So let's now get into that specifically. All right. So the enablers inside the organization are finance. So what is required from finance, compensation plans, etc., that allow you to enable this sales strategy to make it actually happen, right? So there are extrinsic motivators and things that are going to make you increase your chances of success when it comes to building a sales strategy that is going to be successful, which is meeting the financial obligations. The next thing is enablement. So these are tools, people, stuff that increases your sales strategy's ability to deliver on that outcome, right? So what enablement is required to make sure the tools are used? What enablement is required for the people, the team, the sales training, all those pieces? What enablement is required to keep improving and iterating on the processes? Enablement is about improving the ability to do something. So you need to make sure that that enablement piece is functional, or someone owns that, because that's going to make you be successful. It's not that you need to hire a specific person. Maybe that is your role. Maybe you have to put that hat on right now because the company simply does not have the budget for it. But you need to kind of isolate that as a very specific responsibility for yourself. The next thing is product. Again, some of these things are out of your control, right? You don't really control the product, even though you might be feeding insights up. But the product you need to kind of understand, like, are we building our sales strategy for a roadmap that's ready today? Which means this is what we have. This is our toolkit. I'm showing you my hands. This is what we can do. And I'm going to execute a strategy that is enabled by this product. Or are you building a sales strategy that is related to a forward-thinking product map? So you're almost building a sales strategy that's preparing pipeline for something that may be ready 2-3 quarters away. So you have to engage with your product team to understand what is the realistic sales strategy that you can create that they're going to enable you to execute on successfully. Because what you don't want to do is go to market with a sales strategy that is inconsistent with what you're actually capable of delivering, and then it falls flat. Oh, hey, can we see a product demo? Well, there's this thing that we were trying to build, right? We don't want to be in that situation. And then, of course, pricing. This may again be outside of your wheelhouse. It may be outside of your responsibility, but your pricing and the way that is structured is going to impact your sales strategy. Do you have flexibility? Are you on a kind of consumption-based model? Are you on a seat-based model? Are you on a subscription-based model? Is it annual subscriptions, monthly subscriptions? All of these things need to come into account, and you need to think through those, because even again, if it's not your responsibility, pricing is going to be an enabler to you executing your sales strategy successfully. All right. Okay, cool. So we've just covered what is the sales strategy, understanding that it's our comprehensive plan that allows us to bring our products and services to market in a way that differentiates us and increases our chances of success in meeting financial obligations. The next thing we spoke about is how do we actually apply that in practice, right? So looking from company goals through to budgeting process and developing an actual plan, and then looking at the processes of people, tools, and processes, and then the experimentation. And then, of course, the enablers. So what I want to do is actually talk to you about why I hate sales strategy. Okay, so I've answered the question, sales strategy. I've told you how to apply it in practice, but don't build a sales strategy, please. It doesn't even make sense. A sales strategy cannot operate in isolation from the rest of the business. If you tell your company, if someone says to you, go and build a sales strategy, you say, absolutely not. We're building a go-to-market strategy. Do you know why? Because a go-to-market strategy provides an umbilical cord to your entire business. So everything is tied to a go-to-market, and it doesn't just sit on your shoulders for responsibility. Everybody's involved. It's a whole company strategy for how you're going to bring value to the market. So sales strategy is done in isolation. And yeah, there's some good bits because it means you're really focused and you're understanding what the people at the sales team need. But marketing are going to impact and make you successful. Customer success are going to make you successful. Products, finance, legal, partnerships, the senior leaders, everyone. So it needs to be something where we're thinking more cohesively and holistic around how can I build a go-to-market strategy with my peers across the go-to-market leadership team, and make sure that we roll that up to finance and all the powers that be. Because if not, then we're creating silos by design, which means we then create those silos when it comes to the interactions with our customers. Oh, we have a sales strategy where our first interaction is that we're going to make a call and we're going to have a discovery meeting and we're going to teach people about our solution. Yeah, right. That never happens. You don't teach anything. You just try to qualify and drive prospects crazy. I digress. And then marketing, like, oh, well, we run roundtables with very targeted customers. And then the customers come and we hope to try and get them to book a meeting. So they're very well informed. And then by the time sales speaks to them, they just need to kind of continue that process. Instead, sales didn't know that marketing were doing roundtables. And now they're doing something very specific where they're like, hey, so have you heard about our company? This is what we do. And they're like, I was literally part of your roundtable initiative. So that is what happens when we get when we build sales strategy, a marketing strategy, a CS strategy, and not a go-to-market strategy. All right. So let me talk about the building blocks of go-to-market strategy, because this is where I want to bring it to. Yes, I feel like I might have tricked you a little bit. I'm sorry. Sales strategy, that's what it is. Do we want it? Absolutely not. We want to do go-to-market strategy. So this is the building blocks. First things first. A go-to-market strategy, as I said, is a coherent plan that runs across the entire go-to-market org and the business. And it's a combination of these two very critical things. Where do we play and how will we win? So as an organization, a go-to-market team, you need to look at what the total opportunity is and then decide which pool do we want to jump into. All right. And that's going to be dependent on so many things: funding, availability, resources, current capability, how you currently structure things, what kind of products and services you currently have, who is most responsive, where you've had success before, where you think the trends and macroeconomics are going in your favor, the headwinds, the tailwinds. But you need to decide, because once you do that, you're going to decide how you're going to win. From here, you then start to learn more about the people and that market that you're trying to win. How do they make decisions about the things that we solve for? We solve for this issue, challenge, and opportunity. But how do they make decisions about it? How do they think through it? Okay. And then once that's done, what's great is we can build our sales process. I always say a sales process should be supporting the buyer, a bit like when you walk into a supermarket and as you walk through the door, they give you a basket and a trolley. We are going to support you in the decisions that you're making and make sure that you have all the convenience and no friction in doing that. So we want to make sure that we can help them make the decisions with our sales process. Okay. And I mentioned it before, we've got in our sales process, we've got that, in that sales strategy piece that I don't like, but we've got the processes. These are our standard operating procedures for how we help buyers make decisions. And then we have methodology. So this is talking more directly to the tactics and the things that we do day to day inside our sales process that makes buyers make decisions better and faster. They're more confident, they're more informed. What are we doing as a go-to-market org to enable a consistent methodology in how we're engaging our market so that we can win in a place that we chose to play in? All right. And then we have, how do we begin to mobilize the people to facilitate this? People, partners, people, internal teams. How do we mobilize them to make sure that they can help facilitate that, all these things that we're talking about? They could do it the best way. So I want people that, now that we know what we want to do, where we want to play, how we're going to win, I want the people that can do that. Go execute that thing, right? A bit like in any kind of sport. You don't just say, I need a player. They're like, we need a defender, we need a forward, we need a midfielder, we need a whatever it is, right? A goalkeeper. You don't just say, I need someone that can kick a ball. You need a very specific type of person to do that particular type of thing, and they're the best at. It's not just about stealing from competitors. All right. Then we get into the tooling. So you can see that there's a similar framework for the sales strategy, but this is more coherent across the entire go-to-market organization. What tools are going to help us to do all of this in the most effective way? Whether we can measure it, we can iterate it, create a culture of experimentation, and make sure that we're delivering in a better way. All right. So I'm sorry if you felt like I tricked you a little bit. Okay. But I have answered the question, what is sales strategy? And the answer is, it's nothing. We should be focusing on go-to-market strategy. We should be liaising with our teams, our senior leaders across the different departments in marketing, in customer success, in support, in sales leadership. We should all be together in a room, brainstorming the role that we play in helping buyers make informed, conscious decisions. Okay, there's two things that exist today: the fear of messing up, but I say it's the fear of fucking up. People do not want to make mistakes, and people aren't even in roles long enough to stick around to do that, right? So we need to really make sure that we're understanding our buyers. Okay, so if you like this content, if you feel like you got value from it, please like and subscribe and share with people. I'm making every intention to create as much content as possible for you so that you can remove the complexities associated with go-to-market, remove the hidden blockers that exist inside your go-to-market engine, and then be on a pathway to more sales at high conversion rates and high deal values. Okay, I'm Hannah Ajikawo, CEO and founder of Revenue Funnel. If you do want to go faster, then let me know. All right. If you want to go faster, email me hannah@revenuefunnel.co.uk. I respond to my emails and I'll come and see what we can do over a call. All right.